how lovely
sync it
Katie
up.
looks and her room, and then it's just us in our like.
Our pits, yeah. I'm in a fucking blanket. Hello and welcome to episode 2 of Skele Talks Paranormal Podcast with me, Jordan, and Skeletal K. Katie, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Hello. We have a guest on today.
We do. Today we're joined by a guest, a man with sleep paralysis stories coming out of his arse, ghost stories that you might not believe, and a UFO sighting that he witnessed from the front porch of his parents' door, video editor and part-time presenter of Trek Culture, and my comedy husband, Mr. Thomas C. Roberts-Finn. Hello, Tom.
Hello. That was the first. This is the first podcast I've ever been on.
Wow.
Although I've been doing podcasts for ages.
This is my 15th podcast idea this week.
This week.
Yeah.
But it's nice to have an intro. And if it's
It
wrong,
is.
stupid Jordan.
If you're new to the podcast, you can listen back to episode 1 where we did introductions. All you need to know is my name's Jordan, her name is Katie, this bearded man is Tom. And we're going to talk about spooky things.
Mm-hmm.
How does it feel me
Paranormal
staring
podcast.
directly into the webcam?
It's a bit uneasy.
Weird,
Makes you
yeah.
feel uneasy.
Yeah, it's all I can see. I'm currently in a blanket cage.
Blanket fort cage.
Um,
Blanket fort hamster
Kate-
cage.
Exactly. Katie, what are we talking about today?
So today we are talking about sleep paralysis because, well, it fascinates
what?
Jordan. Sleep paralysis? Did I say something weird?
Paralysis?
Paralysis? Yeah. So today we're talking about sleep paralysis. Fuck, no, I don't know if I'm saying it right. Paralysis. But, so it fascinates Jordan a lot. I get it a lot. I've had it since, I think around like 2010 I started getting it. And
really?
I think, Tom, you have it as well, don't you?
I do. I probably got it around the same time as you
Yeah,
as well.
that's weird, bro. The entire world just got sleep paralysis in 2010. New conspiracy theory.
It's a really bad, like sleepwalking. I still do a bit. Like I talk a lot
I
in
did
my
too. Yeah.
Oh
and, like,
God.
I got a story
woke
about
up-
that as well.
I have a bunch. Yeah, I had one. The funniest one is when, in my sleep, went downstairs, took out a giant thing of milk, went upstairs, closed the toilet lid, and put the milk on the toilet lid, and then went back to bed.
Oh, wow. Okay. Love to know what your thought
Time.
process was there.
I really don't know. I think there was two things happening at once in my brain, like, oh, I'm gonna make a cup of tea and I need to go to the toilet, and I think my brain just mixed
Yeah.
things together.
Luckily, I don't do it anymore. But when I was a kid, I did it a lot as a toddler and a little bit older. And one time, mine aren't funny, mine are dangerous. One time I slept walk into the middle of the road and laid down and went back to sleep. As a kid, I don't know how I got out of the house, but apparently I did that. Luckily we lived on a really quiet street, but yeah.
Jesus. Everything's happening to you.
It's been a bit chaotic being me.
Yeah, definitely.
Quite impressed that I'm still alive, to be fair.
So, this one's about sleep paralysis. So, Tom, have you written down any stories from your sleep paralysis that you want to talk about, and also any of your ghost stories?
Mm-hmm. Do we want to do sleep paralysis first, and then we'll do some ghosty stuff at the end?
Yeah, sleep paralysis would be probably a good start.
Mm-hmm.
And then later on we can do the ghosts seen in food section.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Tom, you're gonna love that one.
Yeah, I have no idea what that means. So
Yeah, we'll save that one for later.
Yeah.
Be a bit of a surprise.
Yeah.
I had a lot of sleep paralysis. I still get it now, and I've forgotten a lot of them, I think. But basically, it happens to me if I'm on my back.
Me too.
Yeah, I snore if I'm on my back. I get sleep paralysis. It's a whole thing.
Or a nap. If I'm napping, I'll get it.
Yeah. Like sometimes it happens just sort of if you're napping, that little bit between like actually falling asleep
Yes.
and being awake,
Yeah.
or when it happened to me like at night time, it's sort of just
When
some
you're on your
random
back,
point
all
during the
random,
night.
yeah.
The strange thing about them is, as scary as they are, there's nothing. You're not really scared until
No.
just afterwards,
Yeah.
because there's nothing you can do. You're still in that sort of dream state. So from what I know, something to do with your brain. If you're on your back, it can't quite work out if you're awake or asleep still.
Mm.
So like you're still sort of dreaming as you wake up. That's why you're sort of completely just like you can't move or anything, and you're just staring at the thing that's happening.
Yeah.
And once you can move, it's all gone because you're awake now. So I have a few. Like I have one that's just I woke up and there was loads of vines growing like over me, like over the bed.
Oh God.
I have one very similar to that. Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, it's weird as well because it completely covers you, and then when you sort of woken up, they're gone. It takes a while to like really
Yeah.
know what's going on. I have the sort of classic ones, which is just some sort of like demon-looking thing staring
Yeah,
at me.
yeah. Those are the usual ones that people tend to encounter. I feel like, but I don't know about you. When you have because I've probably had hundreds at this point.
Yeah.
It feels like, but like I think I get to a point now where a lot of my sleep paralysis doesn't even have demons or creatures anymore. It's just kind of like not being able to move and things are going on around you and you're not able to like process what or look at whatever is going on.
Yeah.
Because they don't really scare me anymore. I might have like one in a blue moon that's like, oh, that's really shaken me up. But at this point, I'm just like, well, I know what it is. And I know they can't really hurt me or anything. So they don't tend to scare me anymore.
Probably have it with me as well. Like you wake up and you go, well, I know I'm having sleep paralysis, and I'm just gonna deal with it until it's over.
Yeah.
Because it happens so often.
Yeah, exactly.
The strangest one is, and I spoke to Jordan about this before, and we'll bleep the name, but this was probably during college time. I woke up and was just standing in the corner of my room, staring at me, and her face was like white, and her eyes were just like hollow black.
Mm-hmm.
And she was just like for ages. It was so scary.
Wow.
That'd be terrifying.
This is nothing to do with her. I think, by the way, she's had like a major glow up. I think she's
yeah, she looks incredible.
Looks amazing.
If you're listening,
terrifying. I'm talking about you.
friend of the pod. I want to know why it happens. Like I'm definitely terrified of getting it. To be fair, I can't sleep on my back anyway.
It's something to do with your REM sleep, I think. And like, well, in general, how the brain works is like sleeping is the time when your body processes everything that's happened during that day. Or sometimes I think there's more of a delay. It's like things that have happened over time. So your body is like in like a healing stage. When you sleep, your body, your cells are what's the word I'm looking for? Your cells are healing themselves or regenerating.
Rejuvenating.
That's the one. Yeah.
Regenerating.
So sleep state is really vital for the body's healing and like the brain's healing and that. But I don't know what your sleeping is like, Tom. But for me, I don't really sleep well at all. I don't think I've ever slept like proper in my life. I generally average about 6 hours sleep a night, and I can like it can stagger as well. Like sometimes I just wake up at random points in the night. I've always had trouble sleeping, so my body's not getting like well rest. So I think that's why I'm more prone to having like sleep paralysis and like lucid dreaming in general and stuff.
If there's one thing I know about Tom from knowing him for 13 years now is that all he does is fucking sleep.
Oh, really?
Well, have bad night's sleep. I am a deep sleeper.
Yeah.
It happens. So I won't be able to get to sleep for like a really long time.
Yeah, it takes me about an hour, I would say, to get sleep every night. Yeah.
But
I'm not a deep sleeper. I'm a very light sleeper. Very light.
Because once I'm asleep, that's it, basically. I might wake up a bunch of times during the night. I could sleep until like 1. I have to get myself up, or I can just keep sleeping.
Yeah.
And I've gone to the doctors about this recently, and they think I might have sleep apnea. So it's something I need to figure out.
That'll be a bit of fun. Old Darth Vader sleeping in the corner.
It'll be a good pod.
Face mask. Yeah. We'll do a
oh my god.
A sleep apnea pod.
Yeah, that'd be creepy.
Listen to Tom sleep.
Yeah, I considered getting tested for that as well, but I apparently I sleep I breathe fine in my sleep. I don't breathe out of my mouth at all. and I don't snore or anything, so I don't know. I just I just sleep badly.
Tom, have you had any scary ones?
Well, the thing that's actually what happens that's actually scary, and it's sort of sleep paralysis, but it's not like visions. And this happens to me probably once a month. I will wake up to the sound of like violent guttural screaming.
Yeah.
It sounds like a sort of like a man in the corner screaming as loud as he can, and I wake up to it. And again, like once I'm sort of lucid, I'm like, oh, I don't think that was real. I think that was just in my head.
Yeah.
It'll be screaming, or it'll be knocking at the door. The amount of times I've woken up in the night thinking someone's knocked on the front door.
I get that with conversations. Like, I would always think my roommates were like talking about stuff, and like I could overhear, and then I would wake up, and then like they're not even here, and I'd be like, wait, what? It's like so confusing.
Conversation has just happened, and you've woken up, and it's like, oh, it's just finished because I'm awake now.
Yeah,
what's going on?
And I was like, oh, I'll get up and like add to that conversation, or like check how they're doing and that, and then I'm like, but they're not here.
Tom, I think what you've experienced might actually be exploding head syndrome. It's a very.
Did we speak about that recently?
We were speaking about it recently. Yeah, but exploding head syndrome is a sleep disorder in which you hear a loud noise or explosive crashing sound in your head. The sound isn't real or heard by anyone else. The sudden episode typically happens suddenly, whether you're when you're beginning to fall to sleep or when you're waking up during the night, and it's tied with sleep paralysis.
I think the most common form of that is, you know how when you feel like you're falling off a cliff when you're sleeping, and then you jolt and you're awake. That might be the same thing. I know that.
So
everyone gets that. Everyone gets that. I'm pretty sure. Yeah,
that's like a hangover from when we were. I was going to say monkeys.
You can say monkeys.
Yeah, when we were monkeys,
little monkeys,
living in trees.
Like a threat detecting thing, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah. So I think that the loud noise you will be.
Yeah.
I think that the loud noise.
I think I've had screaming. I've definitely had knocking, but mainly it's conversations and talking and stuff that I hear in my dream, and then I think. But yeah, but I've had like one of my sleep paralysis was really. It still fucks me up today because it's not even like creepy, it's just weird how good the brain is at recognizing remembering so many tiny details in your environment. And like I have a really bad memory, so this one really messed me up. It was when I was at my in my uni dorm, and my bed is like next to my desk, so when I wake up I immediately see like my PC and my like my setup and everything, and then above that is my bookcases. But I was having sleep paralysis, and it was like just a kind of generic sleep paralysis. I couldn't move or anything, and I could hear like my roommates talking and stuff. And then I knew I was asleep, but then like it was kind of like a fade to black thing, like in like Premiere Pro you've got like a cross to dissolve. It was the weirdest shit, but I was staring at the exact same place I was looking at in my dream, and it was just like a slight subtle fade, but then I was awake, and in my dream I was everything was perfectly the same, all the details were perfectly the same, and then I was like sat there for a minute, and I knew I was awake, and I knew I was asleep at that point, but I was just staring at my computer, and I was like looking at all the details, and I was like, that has not changed at all. That's so weird.
Star wipe to real life.
It just made me so uncomfortable. I was like, how is my brain retained all of that while I'm asleep? Every
just
single
a quick
detail.
Side
like
my
well. rooms are always so cluttered, as you can see behind me.
Yeah.
Because I'm an artist. I have like my art everywhere, and my brain remembered it all while I was asleep. Like nothing was different. Nothing.
Fantastic. Just a quick side tangent as well on dreams. I told Tom the other day that I had a dream where I kissed Carol Vorderman. And the other night it was a dream about Paul McCartney being like sending me stuff from his past and then like ignoring me. And just thought I'd bring that up. I don't get sleep paralysis, but I get dreams about celebrities.
Yeah, sounds like it.
You guys had the dreams before?
Fever dreams?
Yeah, when like you're really ill.
God.
suck.
I don't know. Like most of my dreams are like hyper realistic anyway. So it's
I
It's
had
weird.
a-
more like my fever dreams tend to be filled with genuine pain. Like the first time I had like
Yeah, can you like is this a normal thing? Like can you feel and smell and like all your senses in your dreams? Can you guys?
I can like certain things I'll be able to. I feel
Because
like
I can
I'm
for
feeling stuff.
everything. Like I can feel pain and like I can feel everything in my dreams, and I
Oh.
can smell.
Wonder
I
again
can
if that-
smell stuff in my dreams as well.
Because you're such a light sleeper.
Mm.
Wonder if that's why. 'cause,
Yeah.
like, you
Maybe.
still like have your
Yeah,
senses.
because I don't. I just no. I don't even think. I don't think I get any senses
Wow. Okay.
in there. I'm just straight, just looking at what's going on.
Mm. That's
Yeah.
weird.
The first fever dream I ever had, I had food poisoning, and in my dream I was like laid out on like a bunch of like jagged rocks, and I was just squirming about, and like I could
Oh, I
feel the
remember.
rocks like
yeah,
piercing into my
yeah.
body. When I woke up, I was obviously extremely ill, and my like the bed felt like what the rocks felt like, and it was really weird. and
Yeah.
horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, the one I had similar to your Vine dream, mine was really quite, like I was in my bed, and do you know those like really thin, wires? I want to say like, you know how they have it when like in like spy movies when they're trying to like steal some jewels or something, and then they've got the lasers, but they've also got wires and stuff. I don't know how to
Yeah.
explain
Kind
it.
of like.
It's
Is it
not
like
quite.
fishing line?
Yeah, but it was like sharp, like it was like barbed wire,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
without, but it's super thin and like something.
Razor wire.
Yeah, razor wire, I guess. I had like that all wrapped around me and the bed, and I was trying to get out of it, but it was like pinning me down, and I could feel it. That was probably one of the
Christ.
worst ones for sure,
Yeah.
because like there was someone because my bed was facing the door when I had this, and there was someone at my door, and it was just a shadow, and they were talking to me, but I don't know what they were saying, and I was trying to get to them, but I couldn't get out of my bed. That was
Oh, I don't
one
like
of
that.
the most horrific ones.
I don't like that at all. That is horrible. I had fever dreams, but I used to get stress dreams quite a lot. So like when if I was changing job or something like that, one of the ones I can remember was I just started working for DPD. I'll probably
Yeah.
bleep the name, and I was having to load the trailer at the end of the night, but then there was just like more and more parcels that I had to put on to the trailer, and it just kept going, and I was just getting like really stressed out.
Yeah.
Horrible.
I've
I really
had
don't like
a lot.
those.
When I first started having sleep paralysis, they were more repeating stuff, and I still kind of get it today. But it was more when I'd first started getting sleep paralysis. It was always the same. There was always the same like demon in the corner of my room just looming over. He didn't like do anything, but he was really tall and he just stood there in the corner. But the one that kept repeating was there was this like weird like a demon goblin imp thing that just kept falling off of my bed, but it was repeating over and over. So he would appear on my bed and then he'd fall off again, because he was like, you know, the typical one where like there's like I think a lot of people have the old hag sitting on their chest and stuff. This was like
Right.
just a demon goblin, really small thing. He was on me and then he would fall off the bed and it would just repeat over and over, and it got to the point where I was like so annoyed, I just wanted to wake up so badly because I knew I was asleep. But it literally feels like sometimes it just goes on like forever and ever. It felt like I was there hours just watching this guy just fall
This little
off.
guy.
But he looked kind of scary, so I was like slightly scared. And this was like
What
the
do you-
first time I was having them as well.
What do you think is like the reason why the brain always comes up with the same kind of things? Because obviously, like you
reoccurring
said,
stuff,
like yeah, a lot of people get the old hag sitting on the chest or
Yeah.
shadow things.
I've never
like,
had-
why do you reckon we've all got that?
It's weird. I've never had the old hag sitting on your chest one. Like I've had like demons on me, but it's never like sitting on my chest, because I think the whole thing is like you feel like you can't breathe.
Yeah.
But that one's so common. It's really strange. I don't know where that comes
Yeah,
from.
And
I
like
reckon.
flying down the stairs. Have you had that one as well?
The what,
when
sorry?
you were younger? You would fly down the stairs. You'd go to walk downstairs, but you just sort of float.
Oh
along.
really?
Have you ever had
No.
No.
that? Yeah, I've had. Anna's
I've-
had that as well.
Oh wow. I've had because everyone says not to look in a mirror in your dreams. So I always try to do that when have lucid dreams. I always try to look in the mirror to see what happens. And it's more like you
Yeah.
just get, I either don't have a reflection, or my face gets like slightly distorted. It's not really that weird though, but I know that
Do you know that? Did you know that if you look in the mirror for like 10 minutes straight, you start to get like visual hallucinations?
Really?
Like if you like don't break your like eye contact with yourself in a mirror for 10 minutes,
Isn't that
or
like
just like
when you look at those contrasted pictures and they're like, oh, look at it for like 10 seconds and look away, and then you see Jesus on your wall or something?
yeah, but like that. But yeah, but like because you look in the mirror and you're like looking at your like reflection, you just like your brain starts to like add things into the room, so then you get like visual hallucinations of like people behind you. It's weird. We've got about 10 minutes left. So I think we should go on to any of Tom's spooky ghost stories. Ooh. You've written them down, mate?
Yeah. I listened to your last podcast, and I want to preface this by saying this isn't me saying I don't believe in other people's things. This is how I believe my own brain works, right? This is me like thinking this is why these things sort of might have happened. So, first one that happened with me is the Michael Jackson one. Now, so
Okay.
I'll explain that afterwards.
Did you find him? Is he still here?
Well,
Did you tell me what
still
happened?
I was younger and I had long hair. And I was on the landing of my parents' house brushing my hair, and I sort of looked to the side, and there's this sort of skeletal figure, like robes, and their face is kind of like got skin, but it's all like aged and decrepit and all scary, and they've got like this weird sort of gingery, wiry hair, weird ginger hair, and I like turn to see it, I scream, drop the hairbrush, run into the bathroom, and I lock the door. And I wait and I call like for my older sister for ages until she comes up, and then once she comes up, I come out. There's nothing there. Now, back then there was, I can't remember what it was called, but there's a web. This was before YouTube, and it was a website I used to use that had lots of like weird flash games and stuff. And there would be it wasn't Newgrounds. It was like some other website.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's where I saw all like the old like weird flash cartoons and like jump scares and things like that.
Yeah. Like the one that's like the maze game one, scary maze game.
Yeah, all that stuff, yeah. There was one where it was like a cartoon of Michael Jackson, and you do this thing, and then it would be a jump scare, and it would be Michael Jackson, but he's like a weird skeletal thing. I think it was making fun of like his plastic surgery.
Yeah.
It would like scream and but that was the face that I saw, which is why I was like, I got older, like, oh okay, it was my brain basically having sleep paralysis while I was awake, just seeing these weird visions. I don't know if it's to do with puberty, because I try not to get on too many tangents, but I used to, growing up, like I heard conversations and things like that. It was like I could hear people speaking, but I couldn't hear the words they were saying. It used to really freak me out, and like have like it would make this weird feeling that was sort of similar when I had fever dreams, that just sort of uncomfortable, like I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
I remember mentioning to my mum, and my mum being really worried, obviously, because to her, her son has said, "I can hear voices."
Yeah.
Not really. It wasn't really like that, and like when I always assumed it was sort of to do with puberty. I won't go down this rabbit hole, but I saw a clairvoyant when I was older, and they said, "Do you hear blah blah blah?" And I said, "Yeah," and they were like, "Oh, that's the spirits like trying to communicate with you and all that stuff." We won't go down that route though.
That's another app altogether.
That's another app, yeah. The other one, which was the UFO one, Jordan got it slightly wrong in his intro.
Oh.
I was walking back with my dog, going towards my house. It was actually above my house.
I knew it was towards your house somewhere.
And it was like a classic like flying saucer. It's like half of it out in the sky, and then it just went off into the clouds. That one I can't explain. I don't know. I went up and I looked up, and there was like a flying saucer, and then it was gone. And it was so like detailed and like wasn't like a tiny disc in the sky, like I could see it, and it was gone. And I remember that Jordan found it very funny because when I did that, I just was like, okay, and then went home and didn't even mention it to anybody because it's so bizarre that I was like, what do I say?
Yeah.
What am I going to say to people? Because it's not like I even believe.
I don't know. I think
that
people
saw
would
that.
believe you. I mean, maybe it's just me, but I would believe anyone instantly if they said that. To be fair, but yeah.
I think
This
you
was
would. My parents wouldn't.
no,
Mm.
yeah. I think the people that you're around might. Well,
Yeah.
but yeah, I do remember you telling me that story and just your mundane reaction to seeing something, just being like, "Oh, okay," and it's going back inside and having your
Those
like.
things are so strange
chips.
that your brain doesn't even know how to
Mm.
react. You're just like, okay.
I mean, I saw something similar like that when I was a kid, and I was out with my mum and my neighbour, and we were, because my neighbour was watching it, and we came out, and we were like, what are you looking at? And there was like this weird, like, I don't even know how to explain what it was, and I don't really remember it very well, but it was like, not quite, it wasn't circular, but it was like, it like stretched circular. It was really small though, so I don't know, but it was hovering. Like, it wasn't like moving any, like, it was just like that weird shape. And it wasn't like, it was just a blob. It was really weird, but it was hovering at night time.
Yeah, it's strange. Anything else that's happened to you, Tom? If not, we'll wrap this up. The final.
I think there are, but like I can't really remember them. There's ones that sort of happened like to my. We had like an outhouse thing in the garden. My older sister, saw someone like through the window in it, and my mum
Yeah.
and she was like, "Oh, is that Dad?" But my dad wasn't there. She was and like never knew what it was, so she named it Skele for some reason because Skele lived in a shed.
Yeah.
So like
He
to
was
this
eating
day,
Chinese.
we talk about Skele. Yeah.
It was me.
Oh yeah.
Had blue hair. It was a skeleton.
There was a blue-haired skeleton in my shed.
But yeah,
Yeah.
there's lots of things like that. There's ones that happen to like our friend Toby.
Oh yeah.
He was like, him and his mum were walking down the road when he was like a little younger, and a giant wire just came down from the sky,
Oh my god.
Like, went into Toby's like head and like his mum's like neck, and they just went, "Ugh," and they were like, "Ugh," and then the wire was gone, and they don't know what it was.
What
Oh,
the fuck? That's so
That's
weird.
really strange.
Oh
I
my
know.
god.
Like, stuff like that happens a lot. Where I'm just like, what could that even be? Like, to this
Yeah.
day, I don't know what that
That's
could have been.
just so. That's so random.
We need to get
Yeah.
Toby on.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll get.
Terrible
I think you should come back on with Anna at some point. So you
Yeah,
can
I
talk
think
about the
so.
things in
Yeah.
your house.
Yeah, we've got obviously people. Was it this house that was mentioned last episode?
Yeah.
The spooky
The
footsteps. Because I mentioned it to
footsteps, yeah.
Anna, and someone else had heard the exact same thing as you did,
Oh
Jordan, as well.
wow.
Oh really?
I'm mad that I didn't
Someone
hear it
else
when I was
stayed
there.
over.
Has
No.
another person stayed over, or is this like before?
One
You moved
person,
in?
another person, like a friend of ours, stayed over, heard the same like wet kitchen footsteps
my
going through the
God.
house.
Oh, that makes it even
Yeah.
weirder that we both heard the same thing.
Oh, that gave
We
me
wondered
chills.
if it was. We wondered if it was like people either side of the house, because you can hear both neighbors. Those are like loud like thuds. But that wasn't, was it?
It's the thing. It was so distinct
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
like, because I get clammy. So I've walked on like tiled floor with clammy feet. I know
Mm.
the sound, and it was like exactly that sound.
To
Tell
speak
me
you out-
tell me
speak
after
you out
who
even
was it?
more.
I need to speak.
I will do. To speak you out even more, me and Anna, mostly me though, I think it doesn't happen as much now, but would see someone standing at the bottom of the stairs, and then I'd look over and thered be no one there. Whenever I'm washing up, I can always just
Oh
be
my
like, and it's
god.
gotten to the point now where when it happens, I'm just annoyed. I'm like, you just fuck off.
Yeah, that
It
would
doesn't
be
happen
me,
so
to be
much.
honest. Yeah. Just
think 'cause we're,
grabs
like, we've been here
grabs
for
a
so
pan
long.
and chases it.
Yeah, can you fuck off? I think because we've been here for so long, it doesn't happen as much now. But we wondered if people stay over, like, who is this person in this house? Like, that's why they're wondering.
They get
It's like they're
upset.
going up
Yeah.
and down, being like, "What's happening?"
Yeah.
Um,
Nosy ghost.
Winnie. and Winnie was a bit younger. Cat.
Wait.
Look at that. Look at her wiggle.
Aww. Gosh, she's got so big now. The last time I saw her, she was like the size of my hand.
Yeah.
She would
Cat.
just stare. She would stare at that bit at the bottom of the stairs and just
Oh,
not
great,
do anything
yeah.
and stare at it for ages.
Mm.
According to Anna, because cats can like see spirits and things like that, like in tune with that world a bit more, can calm the presence down because like they have connection with the cat and stuff.
Oh, that's
that
good to
might
hear. Because
be why.
my cat would do that a lot, just staring into like the corner, especially the corner that I kept seeing my fucking sleep paralysis demon. He would stare there all the time. So, yeah.
He's probably still there, waiting to fall on
They
the
would
bed
be
again.
like, "Can you stop? Can you stop?"
Right, so the final section of the podcast that we're introducing that I sent to Katie the other day was I've named it Ghosts Found in Food. So so you know when people see like Jesus in a potato and stuff like that. Well,
Is this
the
from
one
what
that
you sent me yesterday?
yeah, it's what I sent you yesterday. Princess Di Hammer. Woman is left godsmacked after spotting the face of the late royal while making her lunch. Hetty Ozma from Cheltenham claims she found the late Lady Diana in ham. And what I've sent the picture to Katie, and I'll get her to put it up on the video. But Tom, you won't not be able to see it, but if you go onto the chats from yesterday,
You cannot see that.
you can I can see it because I've been looking at that image for so long, where they've marked out her face.
It won't show because of your.
Yeah, probably. Oh, is it the blurred?
Yeah.
That image.
It's still blurred.
Yeah. But if you get it up on your phone, because they've outlined it, I can now see it in the picture of the ham. Because I'm like, oh, okay, I'm just matching.
Only because of the outline, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just matching the outline to where it was. But when I first saw that article, I was like, what the fuck? How did you immediately go, that's Princess Diana?
Don't see it at
I've
all.
seen the Jesus Toast one.
Yeah,
I
Jesus
thought that was
Toast.
funny. Yeah.
Carpenter says he's discovered the face of Jesus in a cupboard.
In a cupboard? What, like in the
cupboard.
knots of the wood or something?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
if you find any deceased famous people in your food, do send them into us or the Daily Mail by the looks of things.
Daily Mail.
Yeah.
She just saw Princess Diana and the ham and then just ate it.
That's what I would do too.
That's Princess Diana. Oh. Alright, let's go on.
Does that mean you get possessed by Princess Di?
I think it does, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I was murdered. I don't know if I can say that. Right, so that concludes episode 2 of
Oh wait,
the
should I quickly
podcast.
say my Astrid story?
Yeah, actually, yeah.
So
explain.
I found my dream journal from when I was like in 2011.
So we would have been in year 11.
Yeah. So how old was that? Like
14, 15?
Yeah.
15.
Roughly.
This was the year that Skyrim came out, so I was obsessed with it.
Then.
Yeah, big year for me.
It was like a turning point in Katie's life. When she finally got her personality.
I finally got my personality, yeah.
But Katie was the person who liked Elder Scrolls, and that was it.
That was it. That's all. I mean, you can see it behind me. Like, it's not really. Yeah. But
nothing's changed.
Yeah, it began with like me going like it was there was a transition. Like I turned into the Skyrim world. So I was going through like drawers in a house, and then it cut to going through like drawers in Bree's home in Skyrim. And so then what happened was, so I was in Skyrim rummaging through drawers, and the main menu comes up, and I begin rearranging food. I wrote something strange happens, but I can't remember. But then I go to the Dark Brotherhood Sanctuary, but it looks different. I meet Astrid, and I revive her, and I tell her I love her. And then we get married. She gives me a tour of the sanctuary, and we have millions of babies. and I get really angry, and then I see a TV, in Skyrim, I see a television, and then I said that Skyrim does not have this technology, and then I became lucid because I realised that there's no technology.
Wait,
in
this
Skyrim.
isn't real.
I don't remember there being a TV in Skyrim. After having a million children with Skyrim, then that was the
When you saw the TV, that was the
was
the
it.
crux. I
That
was
was
like, wait, hold on, something's not right here.
that was how impactful Skyrim was on me as a child.
Oh, wonderful! I like that. We could add a few more of those into the end of episodes. Those would be great.
Yeah, as I've got
Really took an effect on you.
entire dream journal. This is just 2011.
God,
Wow.
So
you should try and keep more for the pod.
yeah, I'll try to.
Right, do you wanna do the outro, the usual bits? Where to find you?
Yeah,
Where
so
to find the podcast?
You can find the podcast on Spotify and Apple, the audio versions, and the video version will be on my Skeletalk YouTube channel, which I will be editing because Jordan's in charge of the audio formats. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram. Unfortunately, someone stole my username on Twitter, so now it's Skeletalk_art. Are you
Tom,
laughing at
noticed
Twitter?
Have you noticed the
There's an
Australian still?
accent,
Yeah. Anything that ends with ER.
Yeah.
It's slowly
find me on
disappearing. It is slowly disappearing, I think, but yeah. And also I have TikTok now as well. But yeah.
Proper
That's-
millennial.
but
Tom, do you
Twitch
wanna plug
mainly.
this- Oh yeah.
But
Oh, yeah, carry on.
join us on Twitch because I stream Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, usually 9 p.m. UK time. We play spooky games, and I do my art on Mondays. Phasmophobia and Demonologist are on Tuesdays, and then I've been going through finding like cool games on. Is it Ito?
I'd say itch.io.
Each.io. But if I'm
Yeah.
going through finding some cool scary games on there as well. So yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Tom, do you want to plug yourself?
On the stream, Jordan.
I don't know if YouTube will allow that.
Yeah, so you can find me over at the Trek Culture channel, which is the Star Trek sub channel for What Culture. I edit lots of the videos there, and I sometimes present them if you care about that kind of shit. I'm also
Katie's community loves Star Trek.
They might do. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't. But I'm sure someone does.
I think we've done the top scariest episode, so maybe you
Oh,
might join
no,
that one. Start with that one,
Yeah.
guys,
There we
and
go.
then see.
Yeah.
And you'll find me on like Twitter at Tom C. Finn, and other socials like that. And yeah, basically,
Well,
I think.
fantastic.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think that's it. Oh, wonderful. Thanks all for listening.
Thank you
and
very much for listening.
We'll see you all very soon.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Have a wonderful
Bye.
day.
No, I can either record with my Zoom mic as well as, like, I'll put that next to me.
Well, yeah, because yours
Hang on,
doesn't plug
my-
directly in, does it?
Yeti.
No.
With a cute scrunchie.
You get your Yeti with the cute scrunchie on it.
Hi,
Hi, hello. Follow me.
Kitty.
Hi. Hi, Katie. Hi. Hi,
How do I
Tom.
mute?
Hi.
Do I meet you guys?
There's a